It's another lovely morning in Arizona, and the sky's pretty blue, as you can see behind me. It's about as clear as it gets. So we definitely got some sun. However, it's supposed to be cooler today. It's supposed to be a little cooler than yesterday, and I think it is because right now it's barely in the like 87 degrees or something like that right now. So I think it's 86 actually. So I'm getting started, getting ready to go on my run. Today is day 23. 23 days ago I started this challenge, guys, and I've already seen some major changes in my body, in just my run. I'm running a little bit longer, and I haven't quite added that full mile yet. But when I first started, I ran just a little over a half mile, just a little over a mile, excuse me. And now the last run that I did was just about over 2 miles. So my mileage is increasing, my distance is increasing, but I'm not quite at that full mile like I wanted to at the end of the month. But I'm only on day 23, so I still have this whole week, to get it done, and we're gonna be working towards that. So anyway, we're getting started on my run this morning, and here we go. See you guys when I get back. Yo! 365 days of running with no days off. One more day completed. You know what? Sometimes when I go running, I come back right after my run. I'm sweating. I got my hat on. I'm struggling to breathe, right? And I'm trying to tell you all about my run and what I was thinking about. And there's other times like today. I had a lot going on this morning. I needed to get to it right away. So I decided, just get to the things that I need to do, and then I shower, and then I look all refreshed, and then I come over here and I do this video. So ultimately, though, the message is still the same. I haven't skipped a day, and I'm happy to announce today that officially I have dropped 2 notches on my belt. Yep. 23 days. 23 days, guys, and I already dropped 2 notches on my belt. And I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I wanted to make it more interesting. So when I first started doing these videos, the idea was I was going to run for 365 days without taking a day off. And that I was going to, once I started going, I was going to add some elements like dieting. And I was going to add some other elements like weight training. And you know what? I decided not to. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as an experiment. I want to see exactly what just running for 365 days without any days off is going to do for me. And then maybe when I'm done with this challenge, I'll challenge myself to incorporate a diet for 365 days and do another 365 days of running, but this time with a dieting added to it. Because I want to see the difference. I want to see the difference, and I want to see what exactly that does for me. And as always, when I go running and I do these videos, I come back and I tell you a little bit about what I've been thinking about and the reflections that I'm having, and I share some stories about my life. And you know what? Today, before I started running, I had this enlightening idea. It was before I started running. It was before I recorded my intro for this video. I realized something that's happening while I'm doing these videos. Yeah, so get this. When my mom passed, I felt this void. I felt this emptiness. My mom to me was, I used to call her my consigliere. Like my counsel. When I had tough decisions to make in life, I always went to her and I asked her for advice or perspective. And a lot of times maybe she didn't even understand what I was asking, but somehow she gave me amazing advice. She just, intuition. I don't know. But she was just an amazing person to me. And I used to always tell her, you should write some of this stuff down. And she didn't. She tried, actually. She tried. We discovered later that she had attempted to write some of her ideas and her concepts, but she never did it in a way that where I could just go to a video where I could just go and pull a book and look at a library of her teachings. Like, she never did it officially like that, like structured, right? And I took that as a learning lesson. Like, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this for my daughter. because my mom wasn't able to do it for me, I'm going to do this for her. And so I started writing these journals. I picked up these journal books and I started writing ideas and thoughts, concepts, points of views as they come to me. And I created a directory, so it'll say like page 86, love, right? Or how to manage relationships, or how to, how to value friends, the difference between true friendship, whatever it was. And so I don't even know if those are actual topics in the book. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head, but that was basically kind of the idea. The idea was that I was creating this log of life teachings that I wanted to leave behind for my daughter, for that when I'm not around, she can, and she's encountering some tough decisions in her life, she can go pull these books and say, okay, let me go to page 186. Oh, right here, my dad talked about, when he was going through blah, blah, blah. That's exactly what I'm going through. Because ironically, life is cyclical. The same challenges that we're having, believe it or not, at its core, our parents had them. And our grandparents had them. Managing relationships, are you kidding me? Multi-generational. The value of true friendships, multi-generational. How do you distinguish a good friend from a bad friend? Multi-generational. Right? These are multi-generational challenges that we could help our future generations to tackle by simply sharing the knowledge, so that they already start from here instead of having to relearn that lesson to get to here. Right? So think about that. You're creating a knowledge depository and leaving that for future generations to come. And so I started doing that. But something interesting happened this morning. When I think about YouTube, I think about this place where I can go find out how to do stuff. How to clear my carburetor. Oh, let me go look on YouTube. How do you clean a carburetor for an ABC car and make and model? And then there's plenty of videos on that, and then I just learned how to do it. How to troubleshoot something. There's a million people that are on YouTube that are putting videos out there about stuff like that, and so I could just go and I could just look up the video and learn how to do it. How to use a certain software. Okay, let me go look at videos on that. And so I use it as this foundation of knowledge, right? But today I realized something really interesting. There's a lot of people that use YouTube just to do funny videos, or just do, how-to videos, which are amazing, or how to meditate better, and meditation music, and whatever. There's everything on YouTube. I mean, absolutely everything. It's endless. But what I was thinking about was creating this log of 365 days of running, and me sharing my thoughts that I'm thinking about when I'm running has also created something else. When I started doing the Overweight to Spartan video series, I was so disappointed with that series. I was so disappointed with the outcome of that I actually, when it was all over, I was so disappointed. I stopped working out. I went back to eating ice creams and cupcakes, and I gained so much weight. When I started doing this running, 365 days of running, I was weighing 270 pounds, and I was so, I was at my heaviest. And there was a part of me that was, that it was about transformation, to see what happens in 365 days. And that's all fine and dandy. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm having these reflections on my life and these different thoughts and things. My mind is just going 100 miles a minute, thinking about all these different ideas. And I'm going to share them with people as I'm doing this log, and it'll make the log interesting. But the crazy thing is that today, before I even went running, I had this epiphany. I am creating a log of me. I'm creating a log that captures my personality, my smile, my sparkle in my eye, and I'm talking to you about my thoughts. So you're getting a really good idea of who I am. You're getting a really good idea of what makes me me, what drives me, my motivations, how I feel about my kid, how I feel about my home life, and I'm sharing these things with you. But what's crazy is that I'm also building a depository of me on YouTube. I know it sounds really stupid. I'll be like, really, Alexis, you just thought about it? Yeah, I just thought about it. I thought about the fact that I'm leaving a video log of my life that my daughter can tap into long after I'm gone. I always used to think actors had it really cool. I used to think, how cool is it that Fred Astaire, for multi-generations to come, people can see Fred Astaire. It's almost like they live forever. Audrey Hepburn, you can go back and watch her movies, and I really genuinely believe that actors, the core character, it's really based on the core characteristics of the actor. And then from there, they build a character that they're trying to portray in a movie. Perfect example is this. Neo from The Matrix, Keanu Reeves, makes Neo who it is. But I guarantee you, if Sean Connery was to play Neo would be a different person, a different character. It would not be the same. If Will Smith played Neo, which by the way, these guys actually almost became Neo. If they would have taken on the role, The Matrix would have been a different movie. It might have been good. We might have loved it just the same, but we wouldn't know the Neo that we know today. Okay? That character would have been different. Trinity. If, I don't know, if somebody else would have played Trinity, it just wouldn't be the same. Because the core characteristics of Trinity, Moss, right? Amy Moss, I think is her name. Her core personality comes out in this character, right? Of Trinity. And that's why we like Trinity so much. So I always used to think actors were so cool because they leave all these, you make 23 movies in your career, 50 movies in your career, and then your kids and your grandkids for generations to come, they can go and watch the movie and they can go, oh my God, let's go watch, Grandpa. And they get to see Grandpa in this character. They get a glimpse of who Grandpa was. Portraying a character, but the core, right? And what I realized this morning is that as I'm building this video depository, logging my 365-day challenge, I'm building a depository that leaves me here in this database where my daughter can come back 10, 5, 15, 30 years from now, whether I'm here or not, and she can listen to some of the thoughts and ideas that I'm talking about, these lessons. She can look at my face and see how excited I got when I realized that she can tap into me. She can see me and hear me as if I'm talking to her. Later in life, in the future, I would give anything to be able to have a recorded log of all the amazing conversations that I had with my mom, and so it is so exciting to me. And it has opened up this whole other world in a way that I see YouTube, because YouTube has given us the opportunity to create these depositories of videos, these depositories of ourselves and our ideas and our concepts and our teachings. And I'm not only am I sharing these teachings with you and these ideas and these concepts about, you got to learn to let go when you want something for somebody else more than they want it, or whatever it is, and people asking me questions about this, that, and the other, or whatever the discussion might be. Not only am I building that depository for you to be able to see it and get excited and maybe go, man, this guy is doing this challenge, I'm going to do this challenge too, and look at how his body's transforming and all these things that he's talking about, and maybe I inspire you to do something amazing. But I'm also leaving this for my kid. And that made this project, I mean, now I'm obsessed because I'm doing this and I'm leaving all of these things that my kid could see later. And I love my kid. I love my kid. You know? And it's not just my kid. I mean, think about it. If I die tomorrow, my brother, if he ever wanted to hear me and hear me say I love you, Michael, I love you. Mike, I love you. If my girl wanted to hear me say I love you, Kira, I love you. I adore you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for contributing so much to my life when I needed it so much. There's this video. And it's gonna be here forever. And they can come and listen to it. And watch me. And my daughter can see how excited I am about the fact that I'm leaving her this video where I'm telling the world how much I love her and how much she means to me. When my daughter was born, something amazing happened to me. My life changed. I stopped living for me. I started living for her. The day that about 2 days after my daughter was born, I was on my motorcycle and I did a wheelie on my motorcycle, and it was an exciting moment, man. I brought my bike up, and man, I felt like I was flying, like a block and a half. I was up on one wheel, loving life. I probably, I was probably going about 30, maybe about 35, 40 when I brought up the front wheel. And then by the time I brought the bike down, I was probably going way over 50. The adrenaline was pumping through me. My heart was pumping. I felt my veins just expanding. It was so exciting. I used to love doing movies, by the way. In that same ride, I went on a canyon. And I was taking turns at about 95 miles an hour. Like if I was on a track. It was an exciting day. I had a great ride that day. It's a couple of days, about maybe 2 or 3 days after my daughter was born. And as I was riding home that afternoon, a few hours later, I was on the freeway, leaning over my tank, one hand on the tank, one hand on the throttle, just cruising. Not very fast, maybe about 5 miles over the speed limit. I had this epiphany, and I thought to myself, how absolutely stupid are you? How stupid are you? You can't live your life like this anymore. This life is no longer yours. You have a daughter that needs you and is going to need you. And she needs you to be here. When she gets older, she's going to need you. You cannot allow yourself to do stupid things that put you at risk ever again. And for those of you who don't know, I don't drink. I when I was younger, I did, and I just basically stopped drinking because I never want to be in a situation where I can't take care of my kid. So I stopped drinking. I don't drink. I haven't drank in quite some time. I don't do anything dangerous. I, for the most part of my life, was an adrenaline junkie, and I pretty much have become completely the opposite. I worry about my health and I take care of myself because I want to make sure that I'm here for a really long time because I want my daughter to have the support that she needs. And the crazy thing is that now she has a video that tells her that. So even though I tell her that now, she has a video that she can go to for decades to come. And she can hear me telling her that. And that's the power of this tool, this app that I neglected all this time. Oh my God. And I don't know why, but this morning it just like a light switch, it just turned on, and I thought, how amazing is that? How amazing is that you can just leave these videos for the people that you love. If something happened to me today, my girlfriend can watch these videos and she can see my personality. She can hear me say how much I appreciate her. If my daughter was not to have me in her life, she can come to these videos and she can remember who her dad was and who he was to her and who she was to him. Which I think it's even more important. It's more important for your kid to know how much they mean to you. I mentioned the other day that one of the things that made me who I am is that I know in my heart of hearts, that my mom and my dad adored me. They adore me. I was the light in their eye. I tell my daughter every day, what's the most important thing I can tell you? That I love you more than anything in the world. She hears that from me all the time. Because no matter what happens, it is so important for your kid to know that you love them, that you care about them. And so I make it a point to explain this to her all the time. But I think it's so cool that I can leave it right here and she could just come to this video series and she can say, oh my God, I remember when my dad was doing the series, and oh my God, he talked about how much he loved me. That was my thought today. Whatever my words inspire you to do, however you feel like you want to connect with somebody, however you want to challenge yourself, however you want to improve your life, I hope that my message reaches you. I hope that my words inspire you. Look, I'm not on the bestsellers list. I'm not an iconic actor. I'm not rich. I'm not Richard Branson. I'm not influential. I'm just an everyday person with a message telling you that you can be the very best that you can be. You just have to challenge yourself to go a little bit farther than you did yesterday. You just have to race with that person that was there yesterday, the one that kept you on the couch, the one that kept you watching TV, the one that kept you looking at your YouTube channel and watching videos about little kids falling on their skateboard or girls hitting themselves with a gun when they shot it or whatever. You can be better. You can be better. You can do more. You can do more. You can be better. You can push yourself just a little more today than you did yesterday. And eventually you will find yourself transforming into a person that you become. Where you put your energy, it will become so. There's a lot of people out there that might be looking at this video and they might be sitting there having a beer. And they might have been thinking about quitting drinking. And maybe this message is for them. Today, you can make a decision. And you can just make that decision and become obsessed with it. And change your life. Mozart, Beethoven, those guys were obsessed with making music. And they left a footprint, and their music has influenced generations over generations, and it will continue to influence generations to come. Because they were obsessed about doing something. If you obsess with becoming a better person. There's no telling what kind of impact you can have on your kids and your family and generations to come, and people that don't even know you, because now you have a platform like YouTube where people can watch your videos from all over the world, from all over the globe. And you never know how you're going to influence somebody. And that was my realization today. And I was so excited to share that with you. I was so excited to tell you that I lost 2 inches off my waistline. I was so excited to tell you that one more day is down and that I have one less day to go on this 365-day challenge. I was so excited to tell you, I guess because ultimately I'm excited to see what you're going to do. So if you decide that you want to change, something, that you want to challenge yourself, let me know what it is. Throw it in the comments. Tag me on your videos. I'm not really sure how that works, but tag me on your videos. You probably know more about YouTube than I do, so that I know about your challenge and I can see what you're trying to do. And just remember that I'm going to keep doing my challenge no matter what. And if nobody watches these videos, I'm still going to keep doing them, because ultimately this is a video depository that I'm leaving for my daughter, so that she can continue to learn from me for generations. She can share this with her kids, and my grandkids can know what their grandfather was like. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow in the morning as I get ready to go for my run.